Good morning. It is Friday, October 18th, and today is the Feast of St. Luke. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and the Ave Maria Radio app. I'm Matthew Handley. We have a lot of news to get through this morning, so let's get into it. The Diocese of Grand Rapids is warning the faithful about a publication purporting itself to be Catholic. Earlier this week, the diocese issued a statement saying they have no connections with the Michigan Catholic Tribune and that they have not provided them a mailing list. The publication appears to be political in nature, and details on its ownership are scarce. The Archdiocese of Detroit released a similar statement and said the publication does not appear to have the proper authorization to call itself Catholic, citing Canon 216. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel has sent law enforcement in the state a 14-page letter laying out guidance for Election Day. She says she is hoping the letter, quote, serves as a resource not just for our officers but for our citizens alike. Nessel explains new laws that have taken effect ahead of the election reminds police of the older laws. She says she knows the election law can be difficult to interpret, and her office has set up a hotline staffed by prosecutors for police to call and ask any questions they have. The Oakland County Prosecutor's Office has until November 19th to submit a response to the request by Ethan Crumbley to appeal his sentence. Crumbley killed 4 other students and injured 7 when he opened fire at Oxford High School in 2021 and was sentenced to life in prison without parole after pleading guilty to all charges. He was 15 at the time of the shooting. Judge Kwame Rowe allowed the motion from the State Appellate Defender Office despite being longer than the 20 pages allowed without court permission. City leaders in Kalamazoo say they have reached halfway in replacing 10,000 lead service water lines by 2037. The work has been ongoing since 2017 following Flint's lead-tainted water crisis, and Mayor Dave Anderson says 5,000 service lines have now been replaced.
This is something we dreamed of doing for a long time. And just the fact that we can do it and we can make this difference.
White House senior advisor Tom Perez toured the work that has been done yesterday, and the city held a celebration event in the Edison Neighborhood Association. City Utilities Director James Baker says they have 5,000 more replacements under contract in the Edison neighborhood that will start next month and have funding for 1,300 more next year. An Ohio-based retailer, Big Lots, will be closing 2 more stores in Michigan. The latest stores that will close are in Southfield and Livonia. They join 15 other stores that have already closed or are closing in the state. Nearly 500 Big Lots stores are closing after the retailer filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection this year. You're listening to Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio and streaming on the Ave Maria Radio app. Your local weather is next. Now this.
Teresa Tomeo.
Every time I go to Mass and see my husband serving on the altar as a deacon, it hits me how, with God, all things are possible. I mean, there is no way that we should be still married, number one, based on all the problems we had. But number two, the fact that I'm in Catholic media and my husband is a deacon is simply a testimony to the power of God and the teachings of the church that saved our marriage and, more importantly, our souls.
We have sunny skies in the forecast for the foreseeable future in Detroit. Today our high will be 65. Tonight will be clear with lows around 43. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high of 68. Sunday will be sunny with highs in the lower 70s. And Monday will be sunny with temperatures in the mid-70s. Right now it is 41 and we have fair skies in Detroit, 37 in Ypsilanti. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio. We have sunny skies in the forecast for the foreseeable future in Saginaw. Today our high will be 68. Tonight will be clear with lows around 40. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high of 71. Sunday will be sunny with highs in the mid-70s, and Monday will be sunny with temperatures in the upper 70s. Right now it is 37 and we have fair skies in Saginaw, 30 in Midland. This is Michigan Mornings from Ave Maria Radio. Welcome back to Michigan Mornings. I'm Matthew Handley. I have some more news to bring to your attention. Israel has confirmed the death of Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar. News Nation's Elizabeth Vargas tells us more about the military operation that killed him.
It had been previously reported that Sinwar was hiding in Gaza's tunnels, surrounded by hostages as human shields and successfully eluding his enemies. But in recent weeks, the IDF received intelligence that senior Hamas leaders, including Sinwar, were operating in the most southern part of Gaza, close to the tunnel where Hamas executed those 6 hostages back in August. IDF soldiers were patrolling in the area when they came under fire, and an Israeli tank fired back at 3 terrorists in a building. It was not clear until afterward that one of those terrorists was Sinwar.
The IDF says Sinwar was found with documents and money. Former President Trump spoke at the 2024 Al Smith Memorial Foundation dinner on Thursday evening. Trump addressed the crowds and said he was just happy to show up anywhere without a subpoena. The event, held in New York, benefits Catholic charities, and Vice President Harris was the first presidential nominee to not attend the dinner in years and instead spent the day campaigning in Wisconsin. Voters can cast their ballots in person starting tomorrow in Detroit. There are 14 early voting centers that will be open from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. every day. Early voting lasts until November 3 for this election. Early voting in Canton and East Lansing begins on Monday, and the rest of the state, early voting will start next Saturday, October 26th. And Google will be blocking election ads after the last polls close on November 5th. The company's policy was first introduced in the 2020 election, and restrictions were lifted in December. St. Gregory the Great says the Lord sends his disciples out to preach in twos in order to teach us silently that whoever fails in charity towards his neighbor should by no means take upon himself the office of preaching. I'm Matthew Handley. That does it for this edition of Michigan Mornings on a Friday. Thanks for joining me all week, and you can stay tuned to Ave Maria Radio today and over the weekend for more inspiring and engaging Catholic Talk Radio. Lord willing, I'll talk to you again on Monday. Until then, goodbye.